one of the things also about this, the free agent signing, which I think we'll get to our next topic with too, is how it affects either Cam Newton and the quarterback position overall with the Pats. And when you structure a team like this, where your two best players on offense are now your two tight ends, I think that helps Cam Newton in a couple of ways. One, if they are going to go with Cam as the starter, you mentioned the two tight end set and how difficult it is to cover. You see this with the Ravens over the past couple of years in Lamar Jackson, where there's a lot of plays where you can come out of that two tight end set. You're not sure if they're going to run or pass, and it's tough to load the box against a formation like that. But then you have guys that can come in and block, and you can run over teams. And the way the Pats, the Pats ran the ball well last year with Cam Newton, Damian Harris, they'll sprinkle in Sony Michel if he's still with the team. So they're going to have a good running game, and then they add the tight end element to it, and there's going to be more of a variety in their offensive sets and plays, and I think that's going to be huge for Cam. The other thing is, too, Cam has a tough time throwing the ball down the field, at least right now. So how do you help a quarterback who has a tough time throwing the ball down the field? You have guys that can go up the seam. You have tight ends that you can run, tight end screens. Jonnu Smith can run a tight end screen that can move them around the formation. And you can have guys that fit in those soft areas in the middle of the defense. That's going to be huge for Cam Newton or the rookie quarterback that they go up and draft this year. Depending on what they do at the quarterback position, they're probably not going to have a guy who can sling the ball over the field. So having two stud tight ends, I think, is going to help whoever is the starter in 2021.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's why I put up the 2 sign there, because when you're struggling to throw the ball deep, then you need somebody that can work across the middle, and having 2 tight ends that can do that is really going to be able to help your quarterback, opening up options and opening up targets across the middle. And both of these guys are extremely good in the red zone. And we obviously know once it's red zone time, it's time to money. It's money time to score. So it's good having these 2 tight ends, and I'm looking to see if these wide receivers can develop. And I'm looking to see, like I said, if they add a couple more pieces over the next couple of weeks. Hey, go after Antonio Brown. Why not? He's out there. I have a feeling he's going to go back to Tampa Bay, but go after Antonio Brown or another wide receiver. I would like to see them bring in at least one more wide receiver. If they brought in Leonard Fournette, I think that would be amazing. And I would like to see them bring back James White, because he is a Patriot through and through, and is definitely a guy that has played well here and can play great in our system. But I think it's one of those things where I've been telling people Cam Newton is going to be your starting quarterback, because here's the thing. You wouldn't go out and spend all this money, get all these veteran players, and then say, hey, guess what? You're playing next to a rookie QB. Not going to happen. That's just not what happens. That would say that you're not trying to win if you're going to go ahead and play your rookie QB around all this talent that you've just spent. So Cam Newton is going to be your starting quarterback with all these new weapons. I think he's going to have a much better season. And we've obviously said it over the last few weeks. He didn't have anything. He did not have anybody to throw to last season. So I'm excited to see with the additions that we've put in, he now has some help. And, I'm not a huge Cam Newton fan, but I think he can get it done with the people that are around him now. And I think that's what he needed. He definitely needed some help. They've now acquired that help. So I think you're going to get to see Cam Newton give it another run. And that's not to say that they will not draft a quarterback with their number 15 overall. But I think if they do draft a quarterback, I think it will be to sit and to watch and to learn behind a Cam Newton, behind an MVP quarterback, and to learn from Bill Belichick for a year before you actually get to see any time on the field. So I wouldn't be shocked if they still did draft a quarterback with that position, but I personally would like to see them go after a wide receiver. If Devontae Smith is obviously off the board, which we all think he will be within the first 3 to 5 picks, I'd still like to see them go after Jalen Waddle, who was a great wide receiver opposite of Devontae Smith at Alabama. I think he was kind of flying under the radar a little bit because obviously he played next to the Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver of Devontae Smith. So I think Jalen Waddle would be a great choice with that 15th pick.
No, that's a good call. I actually would rather have Waddle than Smith for the Pats, just because of the explosiveness of Waddle. And like you said, he's kind of flying under the radar because he got injured towards the end of the regular season before coming back in the national championship game. So I think that's a good call. I do think the Pats are going to probably go up and draft a quarterback. But like you said, because of the surrounding players, I think Cam Newton can bring this team to the playoffs with the surrounding team that he has now. I think it's actually built better for Cam Newton here in 2021. And I also think, it's kind of satisfying both needs. You're building this team for 2021 where Cam can do something with it. And then if you draft a quarterback, you have a really solid team for that quarterback to then step in either at the end of 2021 or probably more likely 2022, like you said. And, there was, I think there's a debate on Twitter. I forget who put it out there. What's easier, or what would you rather have? A really good quarterback situation and not a great team around the quarterback, or a good team, a really good team situation that the Pats have now, and a guy like Cam Newton. And it was hard to say because it's hard to find a really good quarterback, right? But I think when you have the good team around, whoever's your quarterback, even if it's not a top-tier quarterback, it's much easier to then bring a quarterback in once you find that player, and then you're off and running. You don't have to worry about building anybody around that quarterback. So, it's kind of a chicken or the egg mentality or question when it's talking about building NFL teams. But I think the Pats are doing everything right in this situation. Whoever is the quarterback in 2021 is going to have a good team to play with. And I think that's why, like you mentioned, I think the Pats make the playoffs. I don't think they win the division, but I think they definitely get into the playoffs as a good wild card team.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to make a run at the division, honestly. I think it's going to be really good between them and Miami and obviously Buffalo. Buffalo is really the team to watch. So I'm looking forward to that first game between Buffalo, and we get to see them twice. So I think that those will be great matchups going forward.